Welcome, everyone. Today, we're about to embark on an exciting journey titled A Never-Ending Journey. We'll be exploring Earth's water cycle. This is the first slide, so I want to warmly welcome you and set the stage for what's ahead. Throughout this presentation, we'll look at how water moves around our planet, constantly cycling through different forms and locations. We'll cover the key processes involved and why this cycle is so vital for life on Earth. So, let's get started and discover the fascinating world of Earth's water cycle together. Water is the most abundant substance on Earth. It's everywhere around us, covering the majority of our planet's surface. In fact, Earth is often called the blue planet because of how much water we see from space. Approximately 70% of our planet's surface is made up of water, which is a staggering amount. This huge presence of water is what makes Earth unique and vital for all forms of life. As we explore further, we'll see just how important water is to our environment and daily lives. Water truly is everywhere, and understanding its role is key to appreciating the Earth's wonder. Most of our fresh water is actually frozen in glaciers, which means only a small portion is available for us to use. In fact, just about 3% of all the water on Earth is fresh water. That might sound like a lot, but when you consider the entire planet, it's a pretty tiny fraction. The vast majority, around 97%, is salt water, found mainly in our oceans. So when we ask, where is the water? It's clear that most of it is locked away in glaciers or spread out across the oceans. Understanding where this water is helps us appreciate how limited our fresh water resources really are and underscores the importance of conserving what we have. This connection is key to the overall theme of water sustainability and responsible usage. Let's talk about invisible water vapor, which is a gas. You can't see it with the naked eye, but it's always present in the atmosphere. Water vapor in the air originates mainly from oceans, rivers, and rainfall. These bodies of water constantly evaporate, turning liquid water into vapor that rises into the sky. Now moving on to liquids, like in lakes, rivers, and rain. These are the most familiar forms of water we see every day. When water evaporates, it turns into vapor, but it can also condense back into liquid form, such as when clouds form or when rain occurs. And then there's the solid state, which includes ice and snow. These are the frozen forms of water, usually found in colder climates or at the Earth's poles. Ice and snow are crucial for the planet's climate system and water cycle. So the key takeaway here is that water exists in 3 different states: gas, liquid, and solid. Understanding these states helps us grasp how water moves and transforms throughout our environment, which is central to understanding the entire water cycle and its impact on Earth's climate. Let's look at some examples of cycles that we encounter every day. Think about the seasons, the day and night cycle, and even water, like how water evaporates and then condenses again. These are all examples of cycles because, like a circle, they have no beginning and no end. They keep happening over and over, creating patterns that we can observe repeatedly. So what exactly is a cycle? It's a process that repeats itself in a predictable way, helping us understand how natural systems work and connect. Recognizing these cycles helps us see the bigger picture of how everything in nature is interconnected through these continuous patterns. Now imagine the water in a lake or a puddle. When it gets warm enough, it starts to rise up into the sky. This process is called evaporation. Essentially, the liquid water turns into an invisible gas, called water vapor, and it's no longer in its liquid form. The sun plays a crucial role here because its warmth provides the energy needed to make this happen. As the sun heats the water, it causes the molecules to move faster and eventually escape into the air as vapor. This is the first step in the water cycle, and it's fascinating because it shows how water can change forms and travel through the atmosphere, connecting the water we see and use every day to the larger system of weather and climate. So here's an interesting fact. Plants actually breathe water. They do this by releasing vapor through tiny holes in their leaves called stomata. These small openings are essential because they help regulate the plant's water and gas exchange. Now, water doesn't just stay in the roots. It travels up through the plant's stem and into the leaves. This movement is crucial for the plant's overall health and function. And where does the water come from? It's taken in through the roots, which act like a sponge, absorbing water from the soil. So, to connect it all, plants are constantly taking in water through their roots and then releasing it through these stomata. It's almost like they're breathing water out, which is a fascinating part of how they survive and thrive. This process highlights the incredible ways plants manage their water and gas exchange, a key part of understanding their life cycle. Now, these tiny droplets come together and join to form clouds. You can think of it like a bunch of small water particles gathering up in the sky. As more droplets gather, they create the fluffy, white clouds we see overhead. But it's interesting to note that inside these clouds, the water is actually turning back into even tinier liquid droplets. This process is crucial because it's how clouds grow and become heavy enough to produce rain. High up in the sky, the water vapor, remember, that's water in its gaseous form, starts to cool down. When it cools sufficiently, it changes back into liquid droplets. This process, called condensation, is a key step in the water cycle. So, in essence, condensation is what transforms water vapor into liquid droplets, leading to cloud formation. It's fascinating because it's a natural process that continuously recycles water in our environment, connecting everything together in the water cycle. Now, when it comes to precipitation, it can take several forms: rain, snow, sleet, or hail. Each of these occurs depending on the temperature and conditions in the atmosphere. Essentially, when water droplets in clouds grow large enough and become too heavy, gravity pulls them down toward the Earth's surface. This process is what we call precipitation. So whether it's a gentle rain, a snowfall, or even hailstones, it all starts with those water droplets reaching a certain size and then falling due to gravity. This step is crucial because it's how moisture from the atmosphere makes its way back to the ground, completing the water cycle. And now, the cycle begins all over again. Some of the water soaks into the ground and becomes groundwater, which can stay underground for years. From there, water flows into rivers, lakes, and oceans, continuing its journey. This slide is all about the collection point. Where does the water go after it falls or soaks in? It's a crucial part of the water cycle because understanding these pathways helps us see how water sustains ecosystems and supplies our needs. Remember, every drop of water is part of this endless loop, constantly moving and changing locations. This interconnected system keeps water circulating, supporting life everywhere. Water is never created or destroyed. It just recycles. This means that the same molecules of water are moving through our planet's systems all the time. When you drink a glass of water today, you're actually drinking the same water that dinosaurs once drank millions of years ago. Isn't that incredible? It really highlights how interconnected everything is on Earth. Did you know that this recycling process is what keeps water available for all living things? It's a perfect example of nature's incredible ability to reuse and sustain itself over millions of years. And here we are at the final slide, and I want to emphasize that this cycle truly never ends. It's a continuous process, a never-ending journey that sustains life on Earth. Starting with collection or gathering, this is when water from the surface gathers in bodies like lakes, rivers, and oceans. Then, we move to precipitation, which is when that water falls from the sky as rain, snow, or other forms. Next is condensation, where water vapor cools and forms clouds. And finally, evaporation, where the water rises back up into the atmosphere. What's important to realize is that these steps are interconnected. They feed into each other seamlessly, creating a perpetual cycle. This cycle keeps our weather patterns stable, our water supply replenished, and supports life everywhere. It's a beautiful, ongoing process that underpins the environment we depend on daily. So remember, this cycle never truly ends. It just keeps turning, keeping our planet vibrant and alive.